about what the new section is going to be, and that will become plain to you, hopefully, when we learn our learning goals. The first learning goal is going to be, I can learn about the factors that influence Africa's climate. When I say climate, what do I mean by climate? What is climate? Raise your hand if you know. Tabitha.
Weather.
Weather, okay, good.
What it's going to be like in the winter.
What's going to be like in the weather? Excellent. Morgan? Temperature, very good.
The type of weather.
The type of weather, excellent. David?
The weather that repeats every year.
The weather that repeats every year. Okay, good. Okay, good. So, when we're talking about climate, we're talking basically about the weather. Temperature, also including in that is stuff like rainfall. So that's what we mean when we're talking about climate. So that's what we're going to learn about, the factors that influence Africa's climate. Next, we're going to talk about, it says, the characteristics of each of Africa's vegetation regions. So what is vegetation? No?
Like growing crops and what they are.
Absolutely. It's what grows out of the ground. Okay. Wild plants, excellent. Ricky?
The types of plants in one area.
Types of plants in one area, very good. Autumn?
Plants being farmed for food.
Okay, plants being farmed for food. Okay, so we're going to look at climate, we're going to look at vegetation in Africa. It says vegetation regions. So knowing the 5 themes of geography, as well as we do, and region is one of the themes of geography. What would you assume a vegetation region is? Morgan?
One with like a bunch of trees and plants.
Okay, okay.
Like
Alyssa?
a farming land.
Okay, okay. So, Caitlin? A prairie could be. It could be. So it's, as we know, a region is a large area that has something in common. And so what a vegetation region is, it's a large area that has a specific kind of vegetation in common. So it could be grasses, it could be jungle, could be any kind of vegetation region. So that's what we're going to learn about, what type of vegetation regions there are in Africa. And it says I can find out how should be climate can affect the health of people in Africa. Okay, so we're going to find out how climate can affect people's health, because that's really important. Let's open our books to page 18. When you get there, right in the middle at the top, right in the middle at the top, we're going to see a map. It says Africa's climate regions. Now, it has a picture of Africa there. It has a picture of the different climate regions in Africa. You don't have your book. Do you have your agenda? Mr. Thomas can sign that for you, and you go get your book.
Do you mean 16 and 17?
17, thank you. Page 17. All right, so you see the key there shows the different climate regions, and then the map shows where they are. I want you to take a moment to look at that. And while you're looking at that, I want to ask you a question. I want you to think about this. I want you to predict where in Africa you think people will be more or less likely to live, looking at those climate regions. Then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about it. I'll give you about 60 seconds to look that up. Noah? Hold on. Hold on, you'll be the first one I come to. You'll be second. You'll be third?
Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Huh? Yeah, where do you think, based on that map, people would be most likely and least likely to live? All right, you've had an opportunity to peruse that. That means to look it over. Noah, I promised you the first crack at this. Where do you think people would be most likely to live?
In tropical wet and dry.
Tropical, wet, and dry. What color is that?
Yellow.
Yellow. Okay, tropical, wet, and dry. And you can see that kind of in the the southern part and there's some in the northern part of it too. The yellow part, he's saying people would be most likely to live there. Why do you think people would be most likely to live in tropical wet and dry?
So they can grow crops and stuff while it's wet, and then when it's dry, they can relax.
Okay, that makes sense. Morgan?
Okay, I was thinking tropical wet.
Okay.
Where they would live the most because it's wet all year and then you can grow crops all year.
Grow crops all year long?
And then the one I didn't think was the arid because it looks like it would be so hot there.
Okay, good. So you can see the arid is what color, Morgan?
It's like a brown.
Okay, it's a brown. And there's a big, big patch of brown that's on the continent of Africa. What is it? The Sahara Desert. So yeah, probably not a lot of people living there. Brianna?
I think that they would live in the tropical wet and dry more because you can grow crops, and then in the dry weather you can like not grow crops.
Okay, you can like take a break.
Yeah, and then I said
Kick your
that.
feet up, have pedicures.
What?
No.
And then I said you would most likely not live in the arid because like it's hot and it's closer to the equator, so it's like.
Okay, really dry, hard to grow stuff when you don't have water. David?
I would say that people would like to live in the humid subtropical,
The humid subtropical. Okay, what color is the humid subtropical, David?
the light green.
The lighter green. Why would you think people would want to live there? There's not a lot of that on there. Why would you think a lot of people want to live there?
Because it's humid and it's subtropical, so it's going to be warmer, it's going to be humid, but it's not going to be too terribly hot.
Okay. And you can see where David's talking about. It's right there on the southern part.
Swaziland.
Yeah, like Swaziland and Lesotho over there. And yeah, it'll probably be nice over there because you're right there on the ocean as well.
For people that mostly probably live, I was gonna say tropical wet and dry too, because since they still get rain for crops, but it's not like a lot of rain, so it won't flood them over.
Okay.
And then probably not, it'd probably be the smarted because it's not gonna be as hot as arid, but semi-arid hot.
Okay.
Semi-arid.
Okay, good, good. Last time, Noah?
I don't think people would very much live in the highland because there won't be enough oxygen up there.
Okay, okay. Brianna?
What does the marine west coast mean?
The marine west coast, there's not a lot of that. That's mostly, it's along the west coast of Africa there. And there's not a lot of that. Marine just means that it's a pretty nice, kind of warm climate, and it stays pretty constant year-round because of the nice ocean breeze that comes along.
I think people would live there.
A lot of people probably would want to live there. All right, so we're going to take a look at all of that during this particular section, during this lesson that we're having today. What I want to do, make sure that doesn't fall. That's going to fall. What I want to do is get you guys together in a group, and you're going to do the reading readiness guide. Now, I know you've done the reading readiness guide before, but I'm going to explain it to you before you do it again. So, I'm going to hand this out to you. This is your reading readiness guide. It's the KWL reading readiness guide. What does the K stand for, Sophia? What you already know. Very good. And what's the L stand for, Autumn?
What you want to know.
That's what the W stands for. That was a trick question. Yeah, it's the W stands for what you want to know. And the L, Morgan?
What you learn.
What you learned, okay? So what I wanted you to do is take a few minutes to preview the section. What do I mean by preview the section? Alyssa,
Look at pictures.
look at pictures. What else? Read the key terms. What else? Scan. What else? She stole yours, you thief. What else? Read the headings. Okay, anything else? Okay, yep.
Read the key terms.
Read the key terms.
And